Hello, hello, good people, and welcome to Happy Healthy Whole with Sharea. I am Sharea, and we are talking the second part to our series, Empowered and Unstoppable Black Women Rising. This is going to be the end of our year, but the beginning of something fresh and new. And so today, I really just want to talk about our financial freedom because normally I don't really talk too much about this. If you know me personally, you know my stance on some things around centering money and the importance of money, but also making sure that you're not letting money rule and or determine your worth. So I usually steer clear of this one, but for the purpose of making sure that we are empowered and unstoppable, I really felt like it was important for me to have this discussion about financial literacy when it comes to being a Black woman, specifically in understanding our finances and tackling some of the areas that might have been difficult for us to deal with and or focus on, especially if we think it only falls in the realm of what you have to survive through. And so I'm not going to go too deep into it because, again, I also have some areas that are specific to how I feel about capitalism and things that are oppressing us. And there's some forms of things that, regardless of how good you do them, you may not be able to actually achieve yourself out of oppression and systemic racism and sexism. So, all that being said, we're going to talk finances today really quickly. I'm trying to keep these under 5 minutes, and I'm hoping to do that for all four parts. But that being said, let's think first about what it means to unlearn some of the negative myths and behaviors or things around what we believe around money. And excuse me, because my phone just is going off. And how important it is for us to just be honest, but we've learned some really negative lessons when it comes to finances. So financial literacy is power. And so if you don't believe that, it's really hard not to believe it in the world we're living in now, because even as we try to navigate capitalism, we still are a part of it, and our worlds require us to have certain things to take care of ourselves. Making sure that we know the importance of living and spending our money in a way that is about being responsible for our goals and our things that we want out of life. So thinking from the perspective of budget, like someone who wants to be able to support themselves, their community, and their family, and moving forward. So know your dollars. That's really what it comes down to. Know how much how much coming in and how much is going out. Figure out what that means in terms of your spending, how it looks to spend money under what you're making as whatever type of profession or job you might be doing. Because what you want to know is that whether you like it or not, if you are not spending well, it is going to impact your abilities to take care of yourself in ways that you want to do as you grow older and as you actually nurture your goals and those things that you want in life. So one of the things that I always suggest, even for my personal, is to have some form of tracking and or track, not just for my business, but also for my personal self, is to have some form of tracking. And so my current app when it comes to my personal is Mint. It's affordable, it's not too expensive, and it's really simple. But you also may not need to do all that if you're not someone who's going to track everything to the dollar, even though I think you should. That's a whole other story. You can do things like a simple notebook that allows you to work through your week and work through what you have and what you don't have, how much you should be spending each month related to your expenses like rent, clothing, excuse me, rent, food, all of necessities, as well as your luxuries that you enjoy. So think about it from the perspective that your spending needs to be tracked so you can know how much you have and also move towards setting goals that are about growing and identifying what you want in your life. So a budget is what I'm talking about. The next thing is invest in you. Start learning that paying for things that will help you to grow, like courses, investments, education that will help you to be your better self, is going to help you in the long run. So those are personal investments that may cost something, but may need to be budgeted so that you can include them. What will happen, I believe, in the next few years is that we're going to be required to know how to take care of ourselves in ways that we've always had as communities to be able to do, but now in a more of a strategic and thoughtful way that also includes our community. So do some education around investments, stock, different things that could help you to grow financially, but also help you to be able to really invest in the things that you believe in. Now, I don't really care for the word hustle, but I do think creating some side opportunities and or creating opportunities to grow your own form of wealth can help you also. So investing in courses that will keep you put you on the path to success in the area that matters to you is going to be helpful. I don't believe in saying, here's the course you should take. What I do believe in is that there's parts of you that you think about, you want to grow. If you invest in them now, the younger you do it, the easier it is as you get older to be able to see the payoff of them. So me being able to invest in a course that was when I started my practice about specifically starting a practice and spending some money has now helped me to be a person who can help others know how to start their practice and create things. That becomes an example for my area of expertise. But the same can be said about a person who's in marketing, learning how to create social media and bringing it on the side as a little way to have an opportunity for some extra cash that you can then use because you take some stock classes to then to have a stock portfolio that is helping you to grow. Then you can ultimately invest back in a community where you could actually have people go to school and possibly give them money towards scholarships. All these things matter when we start with just an investment in us to be able to help us to grow, to invest in others. The last thing is, and this is not just a small thing that you think is important, that's not that important, is build your support network. Join spaces where Black women talk about money. Listen to the podcasts that are talking about how to connect what we have as resources to not just build our individual wealth, but also to build our community and our areas of impact that matter to us. For me, that means education. For me, that means community. For me, that means specifically how art and creativity helps us during times of resistance and times of harm. I believe that our money in the capitalist society has to be about impact and care. And the best way to do that is to educate ourselves, to have ourselves and be aware of what we're spending, which is that budget we talked about, investing in who we are, pay for the courses now so that you don't so that later on it pays for your opportunities to help someone else. And then ultimately build your network. Listen to things that may make you afraid and fearful, but learn about money, talk about it, but also learn how it can impact you individually, but also those things in those areas that are important to you. We know that Black women are literally one of the highest people entering into owning businesses and entrepreneurship. If that is the case, we also need to know how to do it in a way that builds wealth, that impacts even beyond this moment, but creates legacy. So, your takeaways for this financial freedom as we move towards the end of the year and the brand new year we come into is to simply think smart. Start with small steps, monitor your money, track your money, be confident in the fact that you will learn how to manage that bank account as well as manage those portfolios in your stock. Get the education that you need and also the support that you can listen to. One of my favorites is oh my goodness, is a budgetnista. She has so much to offer related to information that if you're not ready to pay for it, even though I think you should when it comes to some of these courses, if you're not ready to pay for it, listen to some of the free things that she talks about related to podcasts and just starting the process of learning how to spend and be healthy with your money. It helps because then it helps us. I'd love to hear from you around what is one financial goal you're working on for this year and moving forward. Share it in the comments below. And remember, wealth is a part of building our community and resistance towards our legacy of what we plan to have next. It's not just about the things that we buy. It's about the seeds that we can plant that can last long after we're here. Y'all take good care of yourselves, and I will see you on the other side where we talk about cultivating joy and finding our happy place, which is one of my things, even as we're walking through difficult times in this country, specifically America, just in this world, because it is very hard sometimes to know that we need to rest, we need to manage ourselves, but we also need to find joy, which is what we're going to talk about next week. You take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the side. Be well.